Hello everybody. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing video. You guys might be able to see that this is a fairly large package. I seem to have found a box within a box. I recognize that this is not normally where people place their microphones. It is what it is. Now I have in my possession a large box, and inside of this box is a large sword, and I will now show it to you. So this is my second time buying this sword. This is, in my opinion, the best deal of a greatsword that you can buy on Amazon. I'm going to provide some links in the description if you want to pick one up. Let me go over why I'm buying a second one of these. First, they look sweet. Secondly, I damaged the one I had, mostly on my own. You can see on this one, there is some wires. Hopefully you guys can see that from here. Originally, when I got this, I took off the bits of wire because to me, it's weird that there are wires only in certain spots. It doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel terrible. But I took off the wire wrapping. The handle is made from two slats and compressed together and glued. And it turned out, at least on the one I had, the wire wrapping was helping to compress the wood and keep it from splitting at the seam. Now, looking at it right here, it's actually hard to see the seam, which is kind of how it was when I got the first one. I didn't even recognize that there was a seam. I removed the wire handle and then the wood started splitting. If I was smart, I would have just compressed the wood back together or maybe wire wrapped it or done whatever, re-glued it, whatever. What I decided to do instead was something far worse. I'm even embarrassed to mention, but still usable, still fun. It's actually in my recording studio back there, and you guys will probably see it. It's because it's the biggest one. The handle currently has a black wrap over it for a couple of reasons. Funny enough, last year or 2 years ago, I had a rattlesnake in my backyard, and I did not own a shovel at the time, which is probably what I would use, but I wanted to get rid of it. And so I was like, what am I going to use? And so I went and grabbed the other version that I had of this, and I went and killed the rattlesnake. And in the process, hit a bunch of rocks and other things like that. Everything stayed super solid. The blade was totally fine. And so I was like, oh, that's pretty good. This was super cheap. Before tax, it was like $230. And so just on a whim, the first time I bought it, just on a whim, I went to go look at it and see what the price was now. And I looked at the price now and it looked like it was exactly the same. So I was like, shoot, I'm going to buy one because I don't know how much longer these are going to be available. I don't know if the price is going to change. The blade looks pretty straight. There's maybe a little bit of wobbling towards the end as far as sharpness goes. Feels okay. Now, you'll notice with these Danish style greatswords that the handle can be pretty long compared to some other style greatswords. With these, you'll often see that the handles can be 1/3 the total sword length. And then on top of that, it has this like long ricasso area and a swept up crossguard. So it just has a very simple but elegant look. Typically with greatswords, you see more frills, side rings, extra spikes on the sides, where this one just seems like simple but beautiful. Seems balanced pretty nicely. You can tell, maybe, that when I hold it out towards the camera, the blade is not super floppy, which is good, because sometimes with really big swords, they'll bend under their own weight. They're not very stiff. This one has a diamond cross section, which gives it some rigidity. No large secondary bevels. The crossguard that I have on the other one, I've had for years. Given it some abuse, hasn't really loosened up. There is a small gap because there is a fuller on the ricasso, and that fuller goes through the guard. So you'll see that there is a gap there. And so on this one, I'm just going to keep the wire wrap on, and I'll try using it with the wire wrap. The way that the wire wrap is held in is with nails. The nails stick out a little bit. I do really like the shape of the handle. It's really easy to index where you are on it. This is massive. Yeah, it's big, but it's not like overly heavy. You can see I can, swing this around a bit one-handed, and you can see there's profile taper. Let me go grab the other one. Here is the first one that I own. And you dual wield Danish Greatswords. Here's the blade profiles. I will say it looks like the new one I got has a slightly thinner blade where the profile taper is larger. Yeah, it just looks like a more slender blade overall, which I'm not necessarily mad about. Yeah, you can feel it a little bit too. You can see that I just destroyed the handle. Maybe you can't see it from there, but I did. It's terrible. The other handle is just shaped so nicely. Yeah, this one has a little bit more heft in the blade. I wonder if the ricasso section is as thick. Oh yeah. Yeah, it looks like the ricasso section on this one is a little bit thicker too. And it looks like on this one I have about an extra, maybe a full extra inch of length. Yeah, maybe. Kind of hard to tell from this angle. I don't know how much of these are machine made, how much of these are handmade, which can account for the difference. Let me see if on this one, I actually have no idea where the edge damage is, which for me is one of the reasons why I wanted to get another one. Since I was like smacking into rocks and other things like that. Kill the rattlesnake. Everything is still pretty tight, aside from the self-inflicted damage for me. This is a pretty good sword. Cheap, made in China. And I believe these swords are at least, I want to say like maybe a decade old at this point. Because I don't think these swords are being made anymore, which is why I wanted to see if they still had any available. Now, obviously I don't think this is going to be as nice as what you get from Albion. Albion has a version of this. I want to say the Albion version is something like $1,400, maybe more, depending on what sort of custom things you have done to it. You get a whole lot of sword for not that much. So just wanted to have this quick unboxing, give you some of my initial thoughts after having one of them for a while. I mean, I liked it enough to get a second one. You can see that perhaps there's some inconsistency. You might get a model that's slightly thinner, slightly thicker. I will say this one does feel more agile than the one I have. Yeah, I liked it enough that I wanted to have one that maybe I could keep nice and display, and one that I could just bang around and swing around and do crazy stuff with and not care if it gets damaged, because I have another one. Although I like the way this one feels more. So maybe this one, maybe I'll just swing around and break both of them. Who knows? And it has a good sized pommel here. Like if this sword just broke completely at the handle and you just had this handle left, you still have a respectable mace. This is a beefy weapon. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Big fan. I'm going to do some test cutting with this probably over the weekend and see if I can post that up for you guys. If you want a greatsword and you want something that I think looks elegant and nice and is usable enough to go kill snakes with, I'm not saying you should go try and find rattlesnakes and kill them. This will get the job done. I can confirm. If you made it this far into the video, appreciate you sticking around. If you want to get one of these, I'll put the Amazon link down for you. And have a good one.